And then we basically, the greatest thing about film is that it reminds you what you haven't worked on yet. You know, I mean, Washington kind of exposed us yesterday in some guard-to-guard screening actions, some of our switches and how they slipped it. So, you know, it's a great opportunity to show us, okay, well, the reason we didn't guard that correctly is because we haven't had a chance to work on it yet. So we did a lot of breakdown work in terms of how we wanted to guard certain actions. And, you know, I thought we worked really hard. You know, it was our third day in a row. Normally we would take a day off after 3, but we're going to go 4 tomorrow in scrimmage Connecticut, and then take Wednesday off. So, you know, for us, it was just somewhat, you know, cleaning up things, adding a couple new things, and then finding a way to compete in short spurts. You know, today was the first day we were able to get Erica McCall in practice. So that meant Darius could officially retire at this point, or at least be on the injured reserve list. So, you know, I think that was good for our team too, to have at least 10 players on the court all the time.
I'll principals right here, and we will get ready.
Oh, I was like,
We'll get started with our first taste of WNBA experience, kind of athletic scrimmage. What is your? I thought it was good to get up.
Okay, sorry about that. I think we had a little issue here.
Go ahead with the question for Caleb.
Brandon Davis, you're up.
Coach, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well. So, in speaking with the Mystics yesterday, they mentioned that you all a very aggressive team. Kind of maybe possibly caught them off guard for a certain point, for some points, excuse me. Is that aggression something that you're looking forward to bringing? Is that like an identity of the team this year? And then I know you said Erica, this was the first time she's been able to participate. So what do you think that she'll be able to really bring to the team this season?
Yeah, I mean, identity-wise, we definitely want to compete. I think that we have good athletes, and we play well in space. I think where we excelled against Washington was with our pace in the full court. You know, I think that's where we had the advantage yesterday. I think when it came to half court execution, they were probably a little better than us. And a lot of that stems from, you know, they have a point guard in Leilani Mitchell who's played a lot of games in this league, and, you know, a center in Emma Miesemann that you just can't speed up no matter what you do. And so when they have time and they take their time and they can play through Miesemann, you know, they're pretty hard to guard. For us, you know, when we can get in space, when we can get in transition, when we can use our speed, our athleticism, you know, we're going to put the ball in, we're going to touch the paint, and then we're going to play out. I think we're going to be a considerably better three-point shooting team this year. But ultimately, you get great three-point shots because you touch the paint, not just because you sling it around the horn. So, yeah, I think we want to be aggressive. We've been talking about from the very beginning that we want to drive pace. You know, we want teams to play at our pace, and we want to dictate that on every possession, whether it's full court or half court. We want every cut to be hard. We want every screen to be set. So, you know, I think that is just has to be a part of our identity, because we don't necessarily have a, you know, Brittany Griner or Brianna Stewart or someone that you can play to and play through on every possession. So, you know, we have to move the ball and be aggressive and have 5 players searching for shots all the time. When it comes to Erica, I mean, I think at this point we needed a body. You know, I think she's a player that fits the description of what I talked about for our team. She's someone who plays with great pace. You know, I think on every scouting report I've ever done on Indiana since she's been in this league, that she's an energy player, you know, that she's a rim runner. She's going to run hard. She's going to screen hard. You know, I mean, she hasn't been a big scorer in this league, probably has legit 17-foot range. And so, in some ways, she's probably a slightly less athletic, bouncy version of Monique Billings, but she gives us some of the same advantages. She's super active. She competes on every possession. She's a little undersized. So, what she can do is continue to increase our pace rather than bringing in maybe somebody who, is not going to play at that same pace. So, we kind of knew what we were getting with her. She made a couple shots today, but as much as anything, she's a super smart kid and picked up our playbook and amazingly made very few mistakes offensively in terms of what we were trying to run or what we were trying to do. And she's good at asking questions. So, did a really good job for this first day.
Thank you.
All right, Danny Thompson.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Sorry, I didn't know my headset device is working. All right, so you had a great scrimmage yesterday against Washington. What are you going to? I know you're trying to open more of the playbook and more of the things going into Connecticut. If you would put a percentage of what you're going to be installing for the Connecticut scrimmage, is it going to be around 75 to 80% of what we're going to see when we start kicking off next week with the regular season?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, there's not a lot we're going to add this week to the playbook. We'll add as the season goes along. We'll add counters to actions that we have. So, it's kind of like you kind of build sets and you base it off your personnel or things that you think you can be good at. And then, you get one or two actions and then you start working on counters out of those actions. And so that teams don't know what you're running out of those sets. Right now of our total playbook, we only have, maybe 25% of our playbook in. But as far as what you're going to see on day one versus where we're at now, I would guess we have at least 80 to 85% of what we're going to run on day one in already. We feel like with this group that less is more, that they need to understand what we do and execute the things that we do well. So for us, we will continue to add. We added some actions because of, wanting to utilize our size on the wing in certain situations. So that's what we added. We added a couple plays, out of a set to get threes or post up looks for guards today. So, we'll have most of it in. It doesn't mean we won't add a situational play, a last second play. What are we going to run if there's less than 5 seconds and we need a three? We may run we don't have a timeout and we need X, Y, or Z. We'll have some of those that we'll still add, and they'll be very situational for us, not plays that we use 100 times, but at least plays that we have in, so that if I'm coming out of a timeout and I'm diagramming it, it's not the first time they've seen it, because so much of success comes down to timing. And you can draw up a great play, but if your timing and your execution is off, then it's not going to work. So, having those things in are important before day one.
Thanks, Coach.
You're welcome.
All right, that's it. Thank you, Coach.
You're welcome.
Just raise your hand in the chat. Bailey Johnson, go ahead.
Hi, Blake. First of all, happy belated birthday.
Thank you.
For all your time in Atlanta, the coaching staff has been the same with Nicki and the assistants. What does that give y'all to have the same continuity?
Yeah, it's awesome. I think it's a huge advantage in such a short season with such a limited amount of time to prepare. It's been fantastic, but we have a lot of new faces on the court, and at the end of the day, that's catching everybody up is what's most important. So, but I think we've been doing a great job. We've been working on that. So, but the coaches are awesome.
Okay, Edwin Powell.
Hey, Blake, happy belated birthday. Talk a little bit about your comfort level having another year under your belt as far as going in and just kind of knowing what's expected, feeling more comfortable with your moves and that. Talk a little bit about your comfort level.
Yeah, it's nice to be back in Atlanta, playing a little bit more of the two and not so much of the one, which is a little bit of a comfort for me. And I just know that the coaches and my teammates here trust me and know what I can do. And so, yeah, I'm very comfortable, but I always know there's room for lots and lots of room for improvement. So I'm still trying to get better every day and do my best for the team.
Bailey, do you have another question?
Sorry. I don't. Sorry, my hand was still up.
Yeah. Okay, any last questions for Blake? All right, thank you, Blake.
Thank you, guys.
Edwin Powell, go ahead.
Good morning, Stricklen. Quick question about this team had a lot of turnover, and I'm wondering how you feel the cohesiveness is coming along as far as you guys learning how to play together. How's that process been going for you?
It's getting there. Every day we're coming in, and that's one thing Coach been on us since day one is turnovers and turnovers. And we're trying to control our pace, figure out our pace of the game as we learn each other. So once we figure out our pace of each other and the pace of our game, I think that's really going to help with the turnovers.
A quick follow-up, if I can, is there any one of your teammates that has kind of surprised you out there that you really got out there and you're playing, you're like, oh, okay, I didn't know they had that. Any surprises out there?
Yeah, I mean, one rookie Kennedy, loving her game. Then Monique Billings, oh man, I think she's definitely taking her game to another level. And then Benaje Laney, I think she's really going to catch a lot of people's eyes this season.
Yakiri, go ahead.
We're going to be challenged there. I don't know, defensively, we've got some work to do. We'll be playing against some really good back.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good morning. How are you today?
Good. How are you?
Great. Could you talk a little bit about the team chemistry today?
Every day it's getting better. I love what really like about this team is everyone is very positive and encouraging. Everyone they're working hard and we pick each other up. I've seen that a lot when we see people drop their heads. One thing about this team, we talk to each other, we pick each other up, and that's a good thing. And that's just showing that we building our chemistry.
And Danny Thompson, you'll have the last question. Go ahead.
Good morning, Shekinna. Thanks for taking the question this morning. So you mentioned how impressed you are with Kennedy. What's the biggest thing that has impressed you about her since she's a rookie in this league? What's it so far in the practices?
She's very competitive, very, and she's really determined to learn and what she needs to do to keep getting better, especially in this league. And I'm really loving how she's really she's learning to control the game. It's hard coming in as a rookie, being a point guard, and trying to control the game, control things. So she's really been doing pretty good on that. And just her overall, how she's so competitive and how she competed in every possession and in practice.
All right. Thank you, Strick.
Thank you.